Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, Bulls. It's Sarah Nunu with the new news. Today is Monday, March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day, and let's get right into today's announcements.
The weather for today will be a high of 61 degrees and a low of 45 degrees.
All right, for today's lunch, we'll have made of turkey sausages, links, strawberry parfait, chicken tenders. For the fruits, veggies, and greens, we'll have roasted breakfast potatoes and seasoned French fries.
Men's soccer interest meeting. There will be an interest meeting for those who want to play men's soccer this school year on March 18th, right after school in room 533. If you have any questions, go see Mr. Noble.
Today's CTE Teacher of the Day is Miss Laster. She joined us at the beginning of the school year and has played an impactful role on many of her students. Miss Laster currently teaches marketing and entrepreneurship 1 and 2. She is an active member and advisor for the BSU Club and encourages her students to be themselves. When she's not teaching, you can find her riding her Peloton bike or shopping for her next fly outfit. Thank you for all that you do for your students and being a valuable member of the CTE team.
FFA Camo Western Wear Day. Agriculture is everywhere. It's hidden in plain sight. And in celebration of National Agriculture Day on Tuesday, March 18th, that's tomorrow, everyone should wear their favorite Western wear and camouflage. Did you know that agriculture is the largest employer globally? It's vital for food, clothing, and shelter.
Do you want to try acting? Would you like to be a part of a shorter theater production? The Drama Club will be hosting auditions for our student-directed one-acts on Tuesday, March 18th. No need to prepare anything, just sign up through the link under the Drama Club page on the HRHS website or use this QR code. Please make sure to bring your signed parent form to auditions.
Everyone is invited to come see the HRHS Winter Guard put on this year's show in St. Windsor before their championship competition. Come support them this Friday at 6:30 in the main gym.
If you are interested in C4 Day, please grab a permission slip from the front office outside Mr. Harrington's door or the guidance office. All FinTech students, this is a mandatory event and you must attend. Students will return back to the Ridge by 10 a.m.
There will be a mandatory FBLA meeting on Monday, March 17th, that's today, in room 749 for students attending State Leadership Conference directly after school.
The HRHS will be hosting a plant sale on Friday, April 11th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday, April 12th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We only accept cash and checks.
Pet Drive. Drop off donations in the bin in the comments, Mr. Young's room 602, or Miss Benfield's room 369.
Buy your yearbook before they're all gone. Scan the QR code or go to yearbookforever.com.
Attention seniors, if you would like to be the honor speaker at graduation ceremony this year, any senior is eligible to submit a speech for consideration for being chosen as the honors commencement speaker. Previously, the submission was only open to the top 40 ranked students. The speech should be thematically appropriate, reflective, and well thought out. Anticipate it being timed for about 5 minutes of speaking time. Also, make sure to title your speech. If chosen, it will be included in the commencement program along with your name. Any senior who is interested should submit a digital copy of their speech via email to Mr. Snell by April 2nd. This is a firm deadline and there will be no exceptions. A teacher committee will review submitted speeches and the chosen speaker will be notified. Email Mr. Snell with any questions if you're interested.
YCI will be hosting a winter coat drive during March 17th through the 21st. Please drop off any gently used coats, toboggans, gloves, scarves, and beanies to the coat drive bin located in the Commons or the main office.
This week's Positivity Project strength is identifying and appreciating the good in others. The character strength of identifying and appreciating the good in others is a core element of the other people mindset. This isn't always what comes naturally. Often, it's easier to blame others for our problems or find flaws in others to use as excuses for our own jealousy, bitterness, or resentment. The problem is that this negativity usually leads to other problems for ourselves, for other people, and for our relationships. As you watch the following video, think about how lollipop moments relate to identifying and appreciating the good in others.
How many of you are completely comfortable with calling yourselves a leader? See, I've asked that question all the way across the country, and everywhere I ask it, no matter where, there's always a huge portion of the audience that won't put up their hand. And I've come to realize that we have made leadership into something bigger than us. We made it into something beyond us. We made it about changing the world. And we've taken this title of leader and we treat it as if it's something that one day we're going to deserve. But to give it to ourselves right now means a level of arrogance or cockiness that we're not comfortable with. And I worry sometimes that we spend so much time celebrating amazing things that hardly anybody can do that we've convinced ourselves that those are the only things we're celebrating. And we start to devalue the things that we can do every day. And we start to take moments where we truly are a leader and we don't let ourselves take credit for it and we don't let ourselves feel good about it. And I've been lucky enough over the last 10 years to work with some amazing people who have helped me redefine leadership in a way that I think has made me happier. And with my short time today, I just want to share with you the one story that is probably most responsible for that redefinition. I went to a school in a little school called Mount Allison University in Sackville, New Brunswick. And on my last day there, a girl came up to me and she said, "I remember the first time that I met you." And then she told me a story that happened 4 years earlier. She said, "On my day before I started university, I was in the hotel room with my mom and my dad, and I was so scared and so convinced that I couldn't do this, that I wasn't ready for university, that I just burst into tears. And my mom and my dad were amazing. They were like, 'Look, we know you're scared, but let's just go tomorrow. Let's go to the first day. And if at any point you feel as if you can't do this, that's fine. Just tell us, we will take you home. We love you no matter what.'" And she said, so I went the next day and I was standing in line getting ready for registration and I looked around and I just knew I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't ready. I knew I had to quit. And she says, I made that decision and as soon as I made it, there was this incredible feeling of peace that came over me. And I turned to my mom and my dad to tell them that we needed to go home. And just at that moment, you came out of the Student Union building wearing the stupidest hat I have ever seen in my life. It was awesome. And you had a big sign promoting Shinorama, which is Students Fighting Cystic Fibrosis, a charity I've worked with for years. And you had a bucket full of lollipops. And you were walking along and you were handing the lollipops out to people in line and talking about Shinorama. And all of a sudden, you got to me and you just stopped and you stared. It was creepy. This girl right here knows exactly what I'm talking about. And then you looked at the guy next to me, and you smiled, and you reached in your bucket, you pulled out a lollipop, and you held it out to him. And you said, you need to give a lollipop to the beautiful woman standing next to you. And she said, I have never seen anyone get more embarrassed faster in my life. He turned beet red, and he wouldn't even look at me. He just kind of held the lollipop out like this. And I felt so bad for this dude that I took the lollipop. And as soon as I did, you got this incredibly severe look on your face, and you looked at my mom and my dad, and you said, look at that, look at that. First day away from home, and already she's taking candy from a stranger. And she said, everybody lost it. 20 feet in every direction, everyone started to howl. And I know this is cheesy, and I don't know why I'm telling you this, but in that moment when everyone was laughing, I knew that I shouldn't quit. I knew that I was where I was supposed to be, and I knew that I was home. And I haven't spoken to you once in the 4 years since that day, but I heard that you were leaving. And I had to come up and tell you that you've been an incredibly important person in my life, and I'm gonna miss you. Good luck. And she walks away, and I'm flattened. And she gets about 6 feet away, she turns around and smiles and goes, you should probably know this too. I'm still dating that guy 4 years later. A year and a half after I moved to Toronto, I got an invitation to their wedding. Here's the kicker, I don't remember that. I have no recollection of that moment, and I've searched my memory banks because that is funny, and I should remember doing it, and I don't remember it. And that was such an eye-opening, transformative moment for me to think that maybe the biggest impact I'd ever had on anyone's life, a moment that had a woman walk up to a stranger 4 years later and say, you've been an incredibly important person in my life, was a moment that I didn't even remember. How many of you guys have a lollipop moment, a moment where someone said something or did something that you feel fundamentally made your life better? All right. How many of you have told that person they did it? See, why not? We celebrate birthdays where all you have to do is not die for 365 days. And yet we let people who have made our lives better walk around without knowing it. And every single one of you has been the catalyst for a lollipop moment. You have made someone's life better by something that you said or that you did. And if you think you haven't, think about all the hands that didn't go back up when I asked that question. You're just one of the people who hasn't been told. But it is so scary to think of ourselves as that powerful. It can be frightening to think that we can matter that much to other people. Because as long as we make leadership something bigger than us, as long as we keep leadership something beyond us, as long as we make it about changing the world, we give ourselves an excuse not to expect it every day from ourselves and from each other. Marianne Williamson said, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light and not our darkness that frightens us. And my call to action today is that we need to get over that. We need to get over our fear of how extraordinarily powerful we can be in each other's lives. We need to get over it so we can move beyond it. And our little brothers and our little sisters, and one day our kids, or our kids right now, can watch us start to value the impact we can have on each other's lives more than money and power and titles and influence. We need to redefine leadership as being about lollipop moments. How many of them we create, how many of them we acknowledge, how many of them we pay forward, and how many of them we say thank you for. Because we've made leadership about changing the world, and there is no world. There's only 6 billion understandings of it. And if you change one person's understanding of it, one person's understanding of what they're capable of, one person's understanding of how much people care about them, one person's understanding of how powerful an agent for change they can be in this world, you change the whole thing. And if we can understand leadership like that, I think if we can redefine leadership like that, I think we can change everything. And it's a simple idea, but I don't think it's a small one. And I want to thank you all so much for letting me share it with you today.
Teachers, please pause the announcements to provide time for your class to reflect and discuss the following questions. Continue the announcements when ready. Remember, a person can demonstrate the other people mindset every day. As you go through your day, be sure to look for opportunities where you can identify and appreciate the good in others.
And that's all for today's announcements. Have a great rest of your day, and of course,
Go Bulls!